Hey everybody. Another impromptu live. Not 2 in 3 days, honey. No, but quiet as kept, y'all. I didn't have another video to post today, so we live. And I was already working on some content. So I'm like, I can get on live and still be working on this content. I can talk out my thoughts with my people. Because we're having a really good conversation in the Discord right now, specifically around Zach and the fandom's obsession with like letting him off the hook, allowing Fatima to sacrifice the way that she's had to, and all of that. So shout out to Key, and I think, hey Money Green Tay, Key started it like, cause she's, oh I'm not sure. I don't know if it's a guy or girl, so I'm sorry, but Key started it, and then I turned it into a thread because we were going back and forth. But then A Noel got in and added some notes today or some thoughts today. So it's been like a really, really dope dialogue. And that is piggybacking off of just how I feel about this black couple on hey Mel, welcome in, boo. Hey Yvette. Hey Barbara. This black couple on Love is Blind. Like, they just not even they, it's the man. And excuse me y'all, so I was on live on Friday, I think. Hey Ollie, I'm talking a little bit about sisters here, well specifically Zach and Fatima. So it's going to be a mix between like sisters Fatima talk slash Love is Blind, because it's a crossover in reference to the themes that are currently like playing out with these women. But I want to like take a second because I got a bunch of questions on my live on Friday. I told y'all that I was raw vegan for Lent, and I had a bunch of people ask me questions in DMs after. So like, raw vegan is like I can't eat anything that is not like plant-based and not like uncooked. So basically, until Easter, I can't eat anything that's cooked, which means that it's like heated above 118 degrees, but I don't heat any of the things I'm eating anyway. And I'm having a bunch of juices and stuff. Like, this is a carrot, ginger, and apple juice, which is really sweet and really good. And then right now I'm having raw spaghetti. I don't know if y'all can see this. I'm almost done it though. But it's like zucchini noodles, tomatoes, garlic, bell pepper, liquid aminos, bunch of seasonings, and it's like really, really good. So I'm gonna work on like sharing in a Discord. Like, we have a life channel now in the Discord, so like tribe life talk. So share your wins, your losses, anything that you got going on that you feeling, your food, you could drop it into that chat in that particular channel, and I'll start sharing some of that stuff because people were asking me about the details around it. So in case you're wondering, cool. Mel, you never seen Love is Blind? I got hooked on the first season because it was actually really good. The concept, when you think about it, it's like something that you would hope for. Basically, they are in a social experiment where they are trying to see if love is truly blind, if you can fall for somebody just by getting to know them before ever seeing them, and not allowing your prejudices and your judgments and aesthetics get in the way of you finding a life partner. And on season 1 of Love is Blind, we got Cameron and Lauren, which seemed like the most amazing couple. It seemed like what they were doing actually worked. And then we also had a couple others. I think Amber and Barnett were in that season as well. But for me, Lauren and Cameron are like the pinnacle. And then since then, it's just been, the episodes have been getting worse and worse and worse, and it's just a show. And I feel like at this point, it's just a place for narcissists to come on and try to become famous, and it's so annoying. And I particularly tune in, of course, to the black couples, and this one black couple that's AD and Clay in this season. So if you haven't watched Love is Blind and you want to watch it, episodes 1 through 6 of season 6 is out now, and I am going to be talking about things that will be spoilers. So if you don't want to have anything spoiled for you, then tap off now. But they got together, and it's not going to work. You can already tell it's not going to work. The little boy is looking for a damn mammy. And when I tell you, watching him date this girl through the pod, so basically they go into the first 10 days of this experiment, they go into, for anybody who don't know, they go into these rooms called the pods, and they're opposite each other, so they can't see. It's just through this wall, and they can hear each other, but they can't see each other. So throughout the whole time this boy is dating this girl, it's like, yo, you're looking for somebody to replace your mama. And you also kind of want to be the princess in a relationship. So you want to be the bad bitch. Like, and I feel a way about men who want to be the bad bitch in a relationship. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? But in watching Clay date AD, I literally saw Zach play out. And I'm like, bruh, this is freaking weird. I like sent I sent Erica James like a comment because I was like, girl, you're not in Discord. I can't find you. I can't DM you. And I'm trying to show you this so that you can go and see too. Because I know she stay on Zach's head as well. And I want to know if I'm crazy. So if you have watched Love is Blind season 6 thus far, tell me, am I crazy, or is Clay probably who Zach presented himself to be when he first met Karen? It's a hypothesis I have. I ain't even gonna hold you. It's a hypothesis. It's a reality show. Yeah, it's a reality show on Netflix. Yeah. Excuse me, y'all. I'm gonna try to finish up my last little bit of this spaghetti. Saba says, I think I might have mispronounced that, so I'm sorry. What, Saba? Clay wants a preference. Even his preference is dumb as hell. Like, I mean, you can't tell somebody their preference is dumb, Erica. Okay. But his preference is just so damn superficial. And what I really struggle with this series as a whole is like, why in the hell do we have a bunch of 20-year-olds on this show? Not that 20-year-olds can't find love, but 20-year-olds don't even know who the hell they are yet. It's still such a journey. Your 20s is definitely like your first bout into adulthood, and you're like figuring a bunch of out, including yourself. So to watch this grown ass man, 20 something, get on here and talk about what his preference is, and he gonna tell this girl at one point, I can't get on one knee and ask you because you, after the 10 days up, or before the 10 days, if you know like 2 days in, then you can propose then. But basically the way that you move forward in the show is you propose to somebody if you're a man, or you accept a proposal if you're a woman. He gonna tell the girl that he like her, to have an emotional connection, which is what they supposed to be developing. But unless she describes how she looks, he can't get on one knee and propose to her because he needs to know. And it's just like, that's not the point of the damn experiment. If the point of the experiment is for y'all to know what each other look like, then you would know what each other looks like, dummy. And you so-called on here, if you're not on here trying to get clout, if you're not on here trying to become a little reality celebrity, then why in the hell aren't you just going to try to follow the rules? Why in the hell aren't you going to lean into the fact that you have openly admitted, and this is, I think this is the, okay, now I'm so many thoughts. You have openly admitted that your preference, your type has got you in trouble before, which is what brought you here. But then you're going to lean back into that and require this girl to confirm that she's your preference before you actually propose. She told your ass no, you got an attitude about it, and then she had another person that she was also interested in, and then you felt the way and got all up in your ego and got all jealous about that, because why in the hell would she be interested in this white man? But she don't even know that it's a white man, because y'all can see the men, she can see the women, but she don't know what nobody that she's dating look like. And then she tell you, like, I'm not going to tell you. She stood 10 toes down and stood up business as she should have. But girl, this boy is about to run up your credit and just ruin your life. And I hate this for her. Like, I feel like we haven't watched the rest of the season, of course, because episodes, I think 4 through 10 comes out this coming week. And they doing it in parts. But this boy is really just here to ruin her life, because all he knows how to do is ruin his own. Okay, so like going back to the other thing that came up for me. So in addition to you like trying to skirt the rules and skirt like what the point is and connecting with somebody on an emotional level and like not worrying about the physical, you also decide to pick up a couple psychology words, a little bit of therapy speak, and you try to weaponize that and manipulate her ass by saying like, he led with, I am not a good person. I operate out of my ego. And that, and on the surface, ooh, on the surface, a man who can articulate that, it's like, oh, he's so self-aware. Oh, he gets it. Oh, okay, cool. No, those are manipulation tactics, because if this man is not working some type of program or have some type of resources to help his ass identify that in the moment and not deliver the results of those toxic negative behaviors to you, then he's literally only using that awareness to endear you and then hope that you're going to excuse it when it pops up, because at least he knows about it. F that. When I tell you Clay feels like Zach in his 20s, I like, y'all. Ooh. That's why the title of this is Love and Other Drugs. Because by golly, Miss Molly, love has got to be one of the worst drugs out there. It's next to sugar. It's love. Because it's going to have AD, unfortunately, and that's the girl name. AD is about to be strung out and run through the ringer. Matthew was very weird too. And I was so pissed with Matthew because I didn't like him at first because he was being all stank to everybody and I was like, okay, but maybe he on the spectrum. So like, relax, Erica. And then he wasn't giving nobody no flavor, no nothing except for AD. And I was like, okay, now the little black girl gonna break down your little walls. So then it got me to like care. But then to arrive at the end where I think the girl name was Amber and she left because he told her and AD the exact same things. And then that made him leave. I'm like, you're a sociopath. And this is when I start to question the actual series, because producers, are y'all not doing psychological evals? This feels like y'all are not caring about these girls' safety, because that man is dangerous. Something is wrong with that man. Like, for real. AD is just a fetish to kinds of Jimmy would not value one. I think that she's a fetish for a lot of them, including the women that befriended her. I think that the little white women that befriended her and that whole little bean dip joke went entirely too far, and not in the way that Laura was talking about. It's like y'all won't even, like, the way that y'all are objectifying and sexualizing this woman as if she's some goddamn spectacle. She might as well be, what's the name of the lady? Like, I don't want to say it incorrectly. Sarah Bartman. It's giving Sarah Bartman. The stacked ass black woman that white people put on display and like drew pictures and made these statues of because of her voluptuous ass figure. Y'all are weird. Y'all are very weird. And that's including the women, not even just the men. Y'all are weird as hell. See, I'm about to start watching it. Like, y'all, all right, Mel. I'm in the Discord talking about, I'm gonna drop my thoughts as well. It's under what I'm watching right now. So as you're watching, feel free to drop your thoughts on each episode. AD used to be a cheerleader, so she knows how athletes choose girls. Plus, she's dark skinned. She's looking for the wrong validation. And that's the tricky part with me with AD, is that she don't feel super thirsty like a lot of those women and whiny. Because there's a few times where she was able to stand on business, specifically with Clay. But the fact that she's not seeing these red flags in him, I'm just like, girl, do you just want to be on the show? Are you definitely going to say no when you get to the altar, but you want to go through the full process? Like, what is this? Because it feels like she has a certain level of confidence. It feels like she's not a pick-me. It feels like she has a little bit of something up here, that would allow her to detect the bullshit that Clay got going on. But then I don't know. So and I'm actually going to pull up some scenes because, again, y'all, this is supposed to be me working on my notes for my breakdown for this. So if y'all continue to type in the chat if you have thoughts. But I'm going to also be voice typing so y'all be able to hear some of the notes I'm putting in my Google Doc for this. And rewatching specific scenes because Clay really rubs me the wrong way. And what's interesting to me, I guess, is that it's beautiful, but it also sucks that we go through various seasons in life. And in my 20s, I understand what I'm seeing. And I also made similar choices with similar men who were not it. And it's so crazy because in my 30s, it's like I can see so very clearly immediately, like I would never engage with certain people because it's just so clear to me. So that's the part that I feel like sucks because it's just like, damn, does not every woman, but do most women have to experience certain things 1, 2, or 3 times before they actually learn? It took me specifically 2 guys, one wasn't really that serious, even though because I was recovering from the first guy, it seemed like it was more serious in the moment than it actually was on an emotional level. But the first one was like, yes, that was one man that I had loved more than myself, and I can like identify that, know that, and be like, that's something that I never want to do again. Cool. So I get it, but then I just hate to watch these girls going through that because, like, why do you have to? Like, why can't somebody older or who was experiencing certain things be like, not him, throw his ass back, and people just believe it? And then also tying in Fatima specifically, or not even just Fatima, because again, I feel like Clay is who Zach presented himself to be when he first met Karen, which is probably how he got Karen. But in going to media, one of the things that I was thinking about while I was running errands today is how the issue for me with Sisters and Fatima is not necessarily that we're getting to see struggle love. It's that we are getting to see it and there's no change being made, which means that for me, the creators or the writers or whoever's behind it is trying to affirm it versus dispel it. I have no problem, because I know a lot of black, and I'm actually having this conversation on TikTok. I'm like going back and forth with people because people were like, no more black trauma, no more with trauma porn, no more yada yada. And I'm like, I don't have a problem with seeing things that's hurtful, seeing things that is painful, showing a full experience. However, what are you trying to say about it? Don't just show it to us just to show it to us, and don't show it to us to try to affirm it when you know that it's dead ass wrong. Or do you know that it's dead ass wrong? Like, I was really thinking today, like, is Tyler Perry in a healthy relationship? We don't know because he keeps that stuff private. We know that he has a son. But are we not seeing Zach be held accountable or check his narcissism or his ego or his bullshit because Tyler Perry don't actually believe that that is something that happens? And when I thought about it like that, I'm like, okay, well, I can't fault him because if he's one of those people who hasn't seen that, because that's not the space that you operating in, regardless of how many billions of dollars you have, then you're going to continue to perpetuate struggle love. And it's not okay, but I understand how it happens, I guess. And for me right now, the Sisters universe, specifically with the Zach character and him having pretty much no growth at all, it's really feeling like y'all are intentionally making this man this way because you're trying to say it's okay that he's this way. But nothing about him being this way is okay. And it sucks because There's a whole generation of women who are watching it and thinking it and affirming it. And it is also really tricky because, again, once you go through some things, hopefully you learn, but a lot of people don't. I feel like I have, which is why I speak to things the way that I do. But when I'm thinking about like my expectations of other women, specifically in navigating conversations in the sisters fandom, I get so frustrated watching these women clearly have internalized misogyny, clearly be like caught up in the patriarchy and like men above everything. If I don't have a man, my life is over. If my man ain't this, or if I don't do this for my man, then my life means nothing. And it's just like, I have already woken up from the matrix. I have already gotten out of that. But there's still so many women who still are indoctrinated into that. And I guess I started to feel like, oh, as I'm waking up, as I'm discovering things, because it does feel like currently we're all going through a rise in the level of our collective consciousness. So like, what the hell is keeping y'all asses trapped in the belief that this is what healthy looks like? Or not even what this is what healthy looks like, because I don't even think that so many of them are thinking this is a healthy relationship. They're just thinking this is a relationship. And there's so many women who are just like, a relationship is better than nothing, no matter what the relationship is like. Mimi Loves Pizza, you're asking the right questions now. This is the stuff I'm thinking about, y'all. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to articulate all of this in content. But that's what's coming up for me. I need some more noodles because I have so much more pasta sauce left. Over in the Discord, and Key, I hope you're okay with me reading some of this. It started out with them saying, I'm sick of people tussling over opinion. Let me move this over so I don't gotta turn my neck this hard. Ooh, it's a little spice in the sauce. Okay. Key said, is it Key? I think it's Key. It's like shortened because it's like a longer name. Anyway. Key said, I'm sick of people tussling over my opinions about Zach and Fatima. These fandoms don't see nothing wrong with that relationship. I replied, child, is sickening. They are delusional. And then they said, for real, for real. Now, I don't know what it's like to be celebrated because I said Zach could have did the same thing without screaming. Oh, yeah, this is what they were trying to say. Basically, they were trying to say it's not a problem for him to celebrate Fatima, but he didn't have to come. He could have came into the law firm not screaming and being disrespectful. I said, literally, they could have had him in a small scene with him getting permission or even giving her coworkers a heads up, which turns the focus back onto her and shows that he's respectful of the space, but they don't have him do that. He could have even had the flowers and the framed letter delivered to the office for her, which takes the spotlight off of him completely and gives it to her in that moment to make her feel special and supported. He said, exactly. I said it was a nice gesture, but his actions took away from him showing up for her. I just hope the writers show actual growth from his character and not him continuing to act childish. I said, I'm waiting to see it, but I've given up on excusing Zach's actions because of his potential. Potential goes unactualized every day, and you look up and see you gave your life, grace, and efforts to a man that never became who you thought he would. So I'm staying on his behind. But we will see. His story could go either way. And y'all, this is the conversation that we be having in the Discord. So I'm saying it be getting real in there. If you want to talk sisters and you want to do so in a safe space, because I know out here in the interwebs it can get a little treacherous with these demons who think that they're doing the Lord's work. They replied, every time he's on screen I roll my eyes and barely pay attention. You would think now that he's a father, he'll act like an adult. I said, unfortunately, he isn't being forced to learn. He is being enabled. While Karen isn't perfect with her delivery, she has held him accountable, and even Fatima trying to shield him from that when it's what he needs. Danny too. Like, them choosing to take blame Karen stance doesn't actually help Zach at all. It keeps him stagnant and never growing. But Zach's ego is more important than him being a truly great man and a father. And it's this part that I really struggle with, both in like consuming media, but then also in real life, because there's men out here in real life who like run from accountability like the plague, and they only accept specific responsibilities, and it's like, you don't get to pick and choose. We haven't gotten to pick and choose. And I don't understand that for the life of me. Like, it is okay to tell Zach that he came into the law firm disrespectfully and to never do that again. That's not how you show up and show support if that's what you really want to do, if you don't want to make it about you. But it's like, we can't have the real conversations with people that's going to actually teach them the things that they need to know to love you better and to show up for you better, because what? It'll hurt their little feelings. It'll hurt their ego. How many black women get their ego and feelings hurt every single day? And what has it done? In all honesty, even when it was coming from a malicious place, and I can't say every single time, so this is not 100% of the time. However, the experiences that us as black women have had, or at least I'm going to speak for me, the ones that have hurt my heart, the ones that have affected my soul, the ones that sometimes have crushed my spirit, have also in some way aided in me leveling up. But we are so hell-bent on getting men to hop, skip, and jump over the things that's going to hurt, over the things that's going to make them think, over the things that's going to hold them accountable and responsible, that they never get the meaningful lessons or the meaningful growth that's supposed to happen, because you too busy trying to soften the goddamn blow. Meanwhile, ain't nobody softening the blow for us. Half of the time, we making the blow harder for each other. The women in my family and some women that I've experienced early on in life, because they're so male identified, because the patriarchy is real, because misogyny is so heavily steeped in so much of what we do, they have made the lessons and the pain hurt worse. Women. Meanwhile, men are supposed to never experience it. And this is not even just in romance, y'all, because I even think about my family, and it's one of the reasons why, and I love my family to death, so don't get it twisted. I love my family. But my family has areas of opportunity and for growth, just like everybody else. But it's one of the reasons why I think I'm so obsessed with the show Champion, and the story specifically of the daughter in that family, because it's so real of how everybody conspires to coddle and to protect and to support and to uplift the brother, the boy. But nobody wants to like give that even equal amount of energy or half that energy to the girl. And everything that she do has to serve him. And it's like, who the hell said that? Why are we operating like this? I don't know. These are just some of my thoughts, y'all. And I just popped on here to share them with y'all. While I eat my raw spaghetti. And work on videos for this week. Drop your thoughts in the chat. There's a couple of y'all watching. And that Discord chat goes on longer. I'm really appreciative for it. I think, yeah, A-Noel jumped in. I gotta go reply to her once I get off of here. And going back to, so like how this ties into, well, at least Clay specifically and Zach. This boy literally talks about how he wants to be babied. And it's not in a way that's in jest. Y'all know how you get what somebody means, even if they say certain words and you don't take it literal. No, this nigga means it literally. And like, there's little things that happen. She, she's looking at her engagement ring that he gave her. And he like, oh, do I get one? Do you what? You want a diamond ring? Like a bad bitch? Really? That's what you want? Like, she does a really great job of affirming him, and I gotta figure out I gotta figure out how to have the conversation around affirmation, because yes, affirmation is so very much important. Like, validation is an important thing for so many of our experiences, both platonic and romantic. And that's one of the first things that the Fatima Zach lovers like to lean on. Karen only tore Zach down. Fatima built him up. Fatima affirmed him. If you are going through your life based on solely the wings, prayers, and affirmations of anybody outside of yourself, you are already fucked up. Period. And if you ever expect only affirmation specifically from a romantic partner in a relationship in which you are sidestepping and making goofy ass decisions, but we can never say, hey, I didn't like how you said that, I didn't like how you did that, this was not okay, but you want to hear all the flowery words and you want to hear that you're so great, absolutely the hell not. That's not how this works. That's not how this works a little bit. Lord, do I need some water? Sorry, y'all, I had jalapenos in this too. I'm like, oh, it's spicy. But I really like spicy stuff. I don't know, y'all, like... Sorry. Watching this first phase of this season of Love is Blind, it really just not triggered, but like brought a bunch of feelings to mind, and they tie so readily to sisters and what we see play out. So I just have all of these damn thoughts, and the number one thought is just like, absolutely the hell not. I need women to stop accepting these type of men. I need women to, I get it, nobody wants to be alone, but like, you can still be alone and in a relationship. I would argue that Fatima is very much so alone in their relationship, regardless of how many times Zach has sex with her, regardless of how many times he comes home at night, because he's not meeting her there as an equal partner. And the emotional and mental labor is real. It is draining, and it is burning out women every day, and has been for decades. So at this point, like, we're just perpetuating the same. And I hate that for us. Like, I really, 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 really hate that for us. Let me... And the crazy thing is, it's like, black men be fine as hell. They be having great teeth. They be just so moisturized. And it's like, you look great. You look amazing. Like, as a package, it makes sense visually. Why in the hell don't you want to do the work internally so that you match, you match your aesthetics? Like, your insides are even the same level of beauty or more. Like, you are just as handsome on the inside, or even more handsome on the inside than you are on the outside. Like, looking at this boy, I'm like, okay, I get it. You charming, you cute, cool. But you're raggedy as fuck. And you don't have no plans on getting unraggedy. Like, not a plan in sight. But we got all of these thoughts around how the woman that you with need to look, and what she need to do, and how she need to... Like, you got all these thoughts for other bodies, but no thoughts for your own body. Child. I just... I I am going to do a full breakdown, like in a video about this. But again, I didn't have a video for today, and I was already thinking about this. We were going back and forth in Discord, so I said, let me get on here and just process my thoughts a little bit. What the hell is still playing in the background? Hold on. Oh, I know what that is. Feel free to drop y'all's thoughts. And then I also wonder, like, we joke about, you know, in the zeitgeist online or whatever, how the bar is in hell when it comes to dating. In addition to men not coming to the table with enough, I really feel like us women, we need to be expecting more. It don't matter if they already saying that we expecting too much. I don't give a damn. Jump higher, Negro. Jump higher, because I get y'all on a reality show. There's a certain level of fame that comes with this, and maybe that's what AD wants. But again, I don't understand how he even gets past the front door. What is it that you're falling for with him? Like, they're talking about they love each other, and I get it. Like, I'll be loving strangers in reference to, like, I want to love everybody and, like, being a Christian. Cool. But what are you falling for when they don't have nothing of substance to say? Like, I don't understand. Purple Rain says, love really isn't blind. Literally all the people that weren't physically attracted to each other fell out. But could it be if there were people that were genuinely there for some real stuff? Because part of the problem is the casting. There needs to be psych evals in addition to, like, STD checks and all that, which I think that they probably do the STD ones. But there needs to be psych evals, and I get it, like, a certain level of trauma creates drama, which propels the show. But there's too many people. Like, there's this girl, Laura, on there talking about she has never felt love and she don't feel like she deserves love. So then why the hell are you on Love is Blind and not at your therapist's office twice a week? Because there is no love that you're going to get outside of yourself until you figure out that you need to love yourself, lady. Now you just you just threw yourself into the lion's den and expect not to get ate. Girl, they're gonna chew you up and spit your ass out. And then you match with a man who don't visually vibe with you, might have emotionally vibe with you. So now you have and then there was another guy who probably would have, but you picked the other one for whatever, all your other traumatic reasons. So, like, you're coming into a circumstance where it could be an interesting thing to experience. It could be a thing that pushes you. However, all of your goddamn blind spots, all of your damn trauma is what you're leading with, and you're not even leading from a healthy, grounded place. Desiring all of this from men who barely coming with something to the table them damn selves. Child, I can't. Like... I'm looking at these people like, why did y'all cast them? I get it, it's drama, but y'all need to do a whole season of healthy ass love, because at this point, I'm not going to be convinced that there are not people out there who are ready for love and just are not in the right place in reference to, like, location maybe. Might be like my ass and stay my ass in the house. Like, if I am not in the house, I am walking my dog or rollerblading on the beach or, like, doing something. And I'm just like, listen, he going to have to find my ass at Whole Foods, Target, on the beach or at the park. So there's a very real thing in reference to this. There's only a certain number of people who want to meet you in certain places if you're not a super social person, and the more of our third spaces get closed and stuff like that. Like, y'all need to go and, like, do a whole season of Love is Blind where they only pick people who are truly ready for love and not looking for their mommy, not looking for their daddy, not looking for whatever that they need to get internally first from somebody else. Looks is what gets you in the door. Personality is what keeps you there. That's how you feel, Purple Rain? The cold is coming from inside out. Exactly. I think it has to do with, Allie is saying, I think it has to do with who they click with and who they're more comfortable talking to. But then if you come into the situation, because you could be right, Allie, you come into the situation and you know certain things about yourself. So like Laura, for example, not Laura, that's not Laura, that's Chelsea. My bad, Laura, I got it messed up. You are a confident queen. Chelsea, you come into the situation screaming, I've never been loved, I've never been told this. She clearly needs physical, like, comments on her physical appearance as validation, and her partner is not giving that to her, so she looking like a sad puppy half of the goddamn time. But if you know that that's what you coming in here with, you know what your things are, you know how you feel, I've never been loved in this way, and I've always wanted this and this, then something about you needs to audit who you are immediately gravitating towards, and then pick the opposite, because you came in here broken. And if you want half of a damn chance, you need to not trust yourself in reference to the one you're most comfortable with, and get with the one who makes you more uncomfortable. Child, they get on my nerves. The casting is trash, even with Married at First Sight. I haven't watched Married at First Sight since I think like the first season, and they're on like season 22 or something like that. Hey, TJ. But reality TV producers prey on people with trauma, unfortunately. And I get that, but like, y'all gotta balance it out. Cause I refuse to believe that everybody is like this. Meanwhile, I will say this, and it might sound arrogant, I don't really give a damn. My healed ass is sitting in the house like, you're not gonna convince me that everybody is out here just so damn desperate for toxic ass love. You ain't gonna convince me. Tyler Perry ain't gonna convince me. Not when I already went through my hell already, and I done learned and processed and reflected and journaled and talked about it. Like, I'm sitting right here. So you're not gonna convince me that every single woman is like these hoes. You're just not. I'm sitting right here. I got a homegirl in Houston. Like, I got sisters. We done been through stuff. We didn't like, and don't get me wrong, the trauma is going to happen. Certain things are going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. However, the way that this gets perpetuated, that's the part that I don't understand. And then that brings us back to Tyler Perry and Fatima as a relationship specifically. Because for us to just continue to watch Zach not get checked on any of the things that he needs to be checked on, and all the women conspire, except for Karen, who's the big bad devil in everybody's eyes. All the women except for Karen conspire to enable Zach, to me, communicates perpetuating this toxicity. And it's like, y'all not gonna convince me either. And for Fatima to have already been in such a heavy, hard-hitting relationship similar to the one that she has with Zach, and Ian, the only difference is Zach ain't run off and married somebody yet. She's experiencing the same relationship again. Why are you allowing yourself to do so? I really could not imagine. Like, I say this all the time. I have dated a Zach. My first was my Zach. I could not imagine ever dating another man like him. I swear I could not. The moment I got the inkling, the itch, the anything that you were 2% like this man at that particular time, don't even worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. I'm out. But now we got Fatima digging her heels in to stay in this toxic ass love after she already done been through another toxic ass love. So she's not learning anything. And you ain't making her partner learn anything. But you leaning into her being praised for being dumb. I don't understand. 90 Day Fiance is also wild. I can't. But they also got the show about loving people in jail and stuff. And I'm like, y'all doing too much. Because it's different. Like, my Zach actually went to jail. So it's different when you know the person and you in love before they go to jail. I'm talking about that show that they be matching people in jail that they don't know. No. TLC, y'all can keep it. Married at First Sight is low-key the same concept as Love is Blind. No, it's not the same concept because they do get married initially. No, because they don't. Love is Blind, they don't get married initially. There's literally 6 weeks from when they talk to each other, 10 days or less of when they get to see each other. And then there's at least 4 weeks of them living with each other before they decide to walk down the aisle. So it's not really the same thing. Married at First Sight, if I remember correctly, the people pick for you and match you with whoever, and you just got to show up at the aisle and marry them, and then after 30 days you decide whether you want to get annulled or not. I could be wrong. Yeah, it's not giving real life. There's a ton of healed people that are ready, but Netflix said no. Gotta be. It's I got a bunch of friends who like, Erica, you should go on Love is Blind so that I could be the bitch that's dragging these raggedy, trifling men talking their bullshit that I can see right through this wall. Cause y'all gonna send me some you gonna send me a Clay, and I'm gonna be like, baby, you don't need to be in a pods. You need to take your ass to your mama house. The crazy thing though, Purple Rain, is like you saying that's the problem that you have with Tyler Perry's writing. For me, it's like it's an issue, but apparently it's also what these hoes is living. Like, we're in 2024. They probably filmed this in 2023. Clay is literally Zach. These men exist. So it's not even like Tyler is doing extra or put some extra on it, because our society is set up in a certain way culturally. Again, I came from a family that prioritized men and like give men the benefit of the doubt before they give a woman the benefit of the doubt. So it's Tyler's writing, but also he is writing something that feels very, very true. For me, it's just like annoying, but also like, fuck, when you get to see it in like a Love is Blind, because it's like, okay, it's actually perpetuated in real life. She don't have no kids tying him, nothing. And she's just like, I'm never going nowhere. Fatima, girl. I hate that for you. And I hate that you actually told that man that. So he knows that he can give you the very bare minimum, if any minimum at all. And you're never going to go anywhere. Ladies, please don't be the bare minimum bitch. Decide today that you will not be the bare minimum bitch. I am not the bare minimum bitch. If you want to be with me, there's some things that you're going to have to do. It just is what it is. We're going back and forth, TJ, because there's a guy on Love is Blind who makes me feel like if we got to see how Zach and Karen met, it would be this guy. And his name is Clay. So we're talking about the mashup of the two, and specifically the themes that are playing out both on media, in Tyler Perry's Sisters with Fatima, as well as in real life. I don't know why Fatima can't just go to law school and keep it pushing. I don't know either, child. Especially for her to be the age that she is. It'll be different if she was 22 or 24. Child, when we those ages, we hang on for dear life while we're being dragged on the back of his 18-wheeler. Like, he just charging his ass through life, through the rest of the country, and we are hanging on. Like, hanging on. But, ma'am, you are in your 30s. You already owned a condo. You already have a good job. You want to stop going to law school so that you can go and put baby mama's heads through mirrors, so that you can go and get people at your law firm to take on his child custody case, so that you can break up the groceries of the neighbor, bust all her wine and up, threaten her, so that you can never go and listen to jazz or sing, because he don't know nothing about that, because he don't give a damn about none of your interests. Like, you want to give all of that up for Zachary Taylor. Child. It is just shocking. It's shocking that that is still a thing. And then again, it's not from a super judgmental place, because all of it's judgment, but it's not from a super judgmental place, because again, I've been there. I've been at the place of like choosing to be in something because you feel like a relationship that's bad, or a relationship with its things that you got to work through, or a relationship that's so hard is better than no relationship at all. But then I don't know. As I have gotten older, I learned and made certain other mandates and have shifted my mindset. I don't know why other women have not done that. Like, what are y'all doing? A lot of women just stay for whatever. Even thinking about like the whole sacrifice part, right? And the work of it all. I would say I was raised to believe that women have to put forth just this exorbitant amount of effort and energy and work into the relationship. And it's just a part of it. So when he cheats, and it's like to like forgive him and to like do all of these things, and like when he doesn't communicate, it's like you over communicate. Like you have to always overcompensate for what your partner lacks. And I feel like I kind of grew up in that, and not that it was like outright told to me in that way, but in seeing the relationships play out around me, that's what it looked like. Like that's what my mama did. My mama covered for every man that she was with except for my daddy. My daddy is the one, but my daddy and my mama broke up when I was like 2 or something, or one or two. I don't know. And everybody else that my mama has ever dated and that I've gotten to know, it's like she's had to do if not everything, damn near everything. So you grow up thinking that that's the thing, which is why I'm like, I get it in your 20s. I get it when you're young, like teens. I get it in your 20s, hell, even early 30s. But at what point do you realize that this is not working out for you? At what point do you realize this is not how it's supposed to be? At what point do you realize your life deserves joy too? And if you have to lose out on that because of a man, then girl, the man gotta go. That's real life, sis. Even Zach tells her that he would understand if she left him. But even that, like, and again, y'all, if you watch Love is Blind, I'm telling you, Clay is Zach and Zach is Clay. Because that's a manipulation tactic. That's the same way that some people use self-deprecation to get people to, like, care more and, like, give me empathy, give me sympathy. Because the moment that she did leave, you busted in on dates telling her it don't matter that she like philosophy. It don't matter that she like jazz because she need a thug. Like, you don't fully even see this girl. So it don't even matter that you say, I will understand if you left me. Because the moment I do leave you, you come running behind me, interrupting, ruining things for me. Like that, even in and of itself, I get how a younger mind, a less experienced mind would see like, oh, he really cares because he ain't going to just let me do whatever. No, girl, it's about him. Everything that he's doing is about him and his ego. And I don't know. I really just thought that Fatima would be a character that would be able to see that. But she Ray Charles to a child. And I'm just like, I guess. And every damn super stan that follows her seems to be as well. And I'm just like, get well soon, y'all, because y'all are sick. Purple Rain Z says, that's what makes it frustrating. Peace is fundamental to me, and it's tough watching women making their own lives miserable. Yeah. I had to, and like, I feel like this is also how I was able to learn certain things and carry them forward in my life. I had to drop friends because I realized that they were allowing the men in their lives to wreak havoc. And unfortunately, I be so locked in with my friends. Like, it's nothing I'm not going to not, like, it's nothing I'm going to not do for you as your friend. I realize that now I'm going through it. I'm struggling. I ain't sleeping. You got my card. Like, all of these things are happening as a result of the actions that the man that you are choosing to stay with is doing. So not only is he menacing over your life, he's menacing over my life. Okay, I gotta go. If you're never going to choose yourself, I gotta choose me. I gotta put me first, Lucius. And I feel like that has been like a reconfirmation of certain decisions that I've made and standards that I have established in my life. Because not only have I created boundaries around what romantic love looks like for me moving forward, and what I won't go back to, what I won't allow myself to experience again. But also now, like, how that pertains to my platonic love with my friendships. It's like, and I'm standing on business so much that I'm also not going to befriend a woman who's doing this. You only got so much with that, because that is not my ministry. My ministry is not to struggle for the rest of our lives with you trying to get this nigga to act right. No. And I have lost friends that I have known damn near my whole life because of it, but they had to go. I need to go watch Love is Blind again to see what you're talking about with Clay. Please do. Clay is Zach, and Zach is Clay. Hey, Grace Khan, this is bad for Fatima. You have to hold a man accountable, because my mother told me a man can't do no more to you than you allow him to. And that was my light bulb moment. Exactly. If he really want to be with you, if he really want to get better for you, then he will. And even that, like, y'all, there's a moment where Clay says that he wants to be a better man for AD. I said, sir, you just met this girl 10 days ago. Why don't you want to be a better man for yourself? Do you even know what being a better man looks like? This is what I'm talking about. And I can't date these type of Negroes because you have no goddamn vision. If it's not until I appear and I get to talking that you start to manifest any type of semblance of a decent male to aspire to, baby, we're not on the same level. You need to already know where you're going, who you want to be if you're not already there yet, the things that you want to accomplish, so that I can accurately assess and say, you know what, he's going this way, he wants to do this, I'm going this way, I want to do this, I want to be this, we actually align, so let's go ahead and do it. If you are still lost in the goddamn sauce and it takes me to inspire you, go find another Erica, because I ain't the one. I'm not doing that labor. I'm not doing it. Hey Sonia, every woman is not the same. You have some strong women in life. You just have to choose if you won't stay in this or not. I really like Karen. To me, she came a long way. I'm so proud of her. I am so proud of Karen as well. And I think strength can be built. Like, we don't be coming out the womb hella strong. Like, we don't be coming out the womb built for a couple. Maybe we do. I don't know. But again, like, I had one super, like, I had one Zach and one little, I thought it was more than it was, but it wasn't. But they both did wrong. And that is all I needed to really, like, reestablish standards and boundaries and just certain things within relationships. And it's not that I'm like militant with it, because there's this guy, like, a few years ago I started dating here in LA, and and I still give people grace. I still give you time so that I can make a fully accurate assessment. I don't ever want to, like, just be super cutthroat where you're like cut off the rip. But, like, my antennas be up and I be knowing. So, like, the guy that I came into contact with and started dating or whatever had deep mommy issues, was black, specifically was African, but grew up here in LA, in an affluent area in LA, but never dated a black girl. So I was your first black girl that you dated. And you look down upon black people. Baby, this is not my ministry. Go and find somebody else to be your first black whatever. Go and find somebody else to deal with your elitist, classist statements. Like, our first initial interactions was, he appreciated the way I thought. He was like, he's a software engineer, like, does gaming for, like, this big ass company that everybody loves, that makes all the video games that the dudes like. So we're, like, getting to know each other and what each other does. And, like, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Or I know this game. And I'm, like, talking about different things, because I like to be a little bit knowledgeable about everything, even if I don't play the game or whatever. So initially it's like, he appreciated just how I spoke, how I carried myself, my energy. I did affirm him, because I think that naturally women, or specifically black women, we just like to affirm people. We want people to feel good. We want people to feel, you know, cool. And I noticed one of the first issues that started to come up is, like, he was, like, sopping it up. And I'm like, that's cool. Like, you're taking everything that I'm giving, cool. But, like, what are you giving me? Because you're not giving me the butterflies. You're not giving me, like, and not that you have to do everything that I'm doing, but you can appreciate all the attention I'm giving you, how I'm able to hold my end of a conversation in all of the areas of things that you want to talk about, but you're not able to do the same for me. Like, it just wasn't matched. So that's the first thing. And then once we get down to it, like, there was one conversation that was all goddamn night. It was all night. Like, it was literally like 6 hours I was on the phone with this man. And I had to go to work in the morning. I was working for myself still, but like I had to be, at that time I had an office in Playa Vista, and I had to be back at work, but I was like staying up all night talking to this nigga, and he's like talking about all his damn daddy issues and all his family issues, and I'm like, okay, I understand this, like I know a little bit of psychology, cool, and I'm like talking to him about it, and he's like, I've never been able to articulate things in this way. I've always felt misunderstood. I've always thank you. This is a great way to look at it. Cool. The next day, I'm at my office and he calls me again and I'm like, oh, I'm working. I'm going to hit you back. When I finally hit him back later on in the day, he's like, are you ever going to not be working? Like he just had this issue with, out of nowhere, with this, I guess with the fact that I'm like, I was always on the move, and I was like always like at my office and working on this and working on that. And at the time I had a bigger team. So like I had that I had to handle. I also wasn't focused fully on this YouTube channel. Like I had more clients. I was doing a bunch of production stuff. Like y'all don't know this really, but I like produce celebrity photo shoots and video shoots and things like that. So I have a lot of things going on. And the crazy thing is, I literally thought like, yo, you are complaining that I work too much. Cause at this time I think it was a Saturday and I had went into the office. But I just gave you 6 hours of my goddamn night, got 2 hours of sleep before coming into the office. And then before that, it was like 3 hours and 4 hours. Like, I'm not shortchanging you, and I'm showing up for you, having all the conversations that you want to have, and like making you feel all great, cool. I'm not necessarily getting all that back, but okay, like I ain't really tripping for real because I have what I need for myself, and I'm literally just trying to get to know people. And if it develops into more, cool. But then once you have an issue about me doing my life the way that I'm doing my life, it's like, sir, it really made me think. And then I go back, I'm like, sir, you have all of these familial issues. He started saying stuff like, I think the straw that broke the camel's back for me with that guy specifically was he made a comment after this about the riots that happened after Freddie Gray got killed in Baltimore. And y'all know I'm from Baltimore. I was home, like I was there at the time. And he made some very classist comments about the blacks that decided to tear up their own city. And I was just like, you know what? Why am I here? You are not giving me any of the things that I would hope to get from a romantic partner because I am more advanced than you when it comes to communicating certain things with a certain level of emotional intelligence. Like, I'm your first black girl. So I also, in addition to being articulate, I still have a little hood in me, and you're navigating that very interestingly. Most of our conversations have been about you. I'm out. And I didn't even have to go through the whole, like, getting into a heavy relationship and, like, getting our feelings, like, getting my feelings super involved. Like, I navigate now from that place of, like, no, absolutely the hell not. Which is probably why I also struggle with seeing, like, a character like Fatima sticking in the way that she is. It's like, girl, you're getting nothing. Nothing. It would be one thing if she was unhoused when he first met her. Like if Fatima ain't had no home and she needed someplace to sleep, then I could understand her trying to figure it out until she got some money and a place to stay. But you literally were fine. You were standing on your own too. For all intents and purposes, your stress level has gone up since dating Zach. For all intents and purposes, your worry lines have gone up since dating Zach. For all intents and purposes, you have less time for yourself in dating Zach. Why are we doing it? Let me see what y'all think. I just had my whole little rant, honey. But it's also showing in real life how women with great careers are dumb in love. Ciao. Every woman is not the same. Oh, yeah. Oh, going back to that, you were saying every woman's not the same, every woman's not strong. I feel like you get stronger if you allow your lived experiences to help you grow. Purple Rain says, yeah, it seems like none of these ninjas actually or have actual visions and a step-by-step plan until somebody inspires them. Like that is going to be my number one red flag. If it takes 3 conversations that you have with me to get inspired to be a better man, you got it, babes. I'm out. You can have it. Go be a better man for somebody else. Good luck to her, whoever she is. Shaking my head. Us Africans are a different breed. I mean, I try not to judge, but when I tell you that boy did not help y'all for me, I was just like, this nigga's like, what else do you want from me? Like, you literally have a problem that as an entrepreneur, I'm in my office on Saturdays and Sundays, but also you have yet to plan a date and send the details. So I'm gonna be where the hell you found me until you decide that we're going somewhere else. I knew that was a Baltimore accent. Yes. Hey, boo. I'm from Northeast Baltimore City. Yeah, but the little Freddie Gray comment, I was just like, oh yeah, we're good. And then he tried afterwards to try to make it seem like I didn't give him enough of a chance and I jumped to conclusions, and I was just like, sir, I don't owe you a motherfucking thing. I didn't cuss at him. But that's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, God bless. God bless you, sir. Good luck. Damn, I haven't talked about that dating experience in a minute. Probably since it happened, child. I could just tell y'all this. Dating in LA is not for the faint of heart. But I'm also like not even out there like that. So I can only imagine what some other people are experiencing. Fatima was literally already good on her own. So it just boggles my mind. But yes, go and watch Love is Blind. Let me know what you're thinking. I'm literally rewatching scenes right now because I'm working on my breakdown of it. And specifically, Clay and AD have my attention. But I'm going to talk about everybody in the breakdown. And when I tell you that Clay and Zach are the same person, they are the same person. And it's the worst. Oh, it's the worst. And I just know in these next parts that we about to watch Clay just run amok in AD's life. Even Andy has access to richer guys, but she was just stuck on Bourne and trifling Gary. What about it? What about Gary kept you there, girl? Convince me that it's anything other than our internalized need to prove ourselves in relationships, or our internalized need to like win, whether it's somebody over or like Gary and Andy makes even less sense than Zach and Fatima. Am I missing anybody posting in the chat? Let me see. It's wild, y'all. It is wild. I get that Andy is low-key materialistic, but why couldn't she date her boss or some other rich guy? She started dating her boss. Like, what is the problem with Robin? And then you have this moment where Robin does the goofiness that he does and, like, talking about her sleeping with Paris, which was very classist, cool. But, like, Andy then putting her foot down and, like, you disrespect me and I will never forgive you. Meanwhile, Gary threw his wife off the top of a parking garage, squeezed the life out of your ass, terrorized you, got your boss fired. Like, use your common sense, because the math ain't mathing. But yeah, y'all, those are my thoughts around that. Definitely want to make some content around struggle love and having this full conversation. This has really just been talking out my thoughts with y'all, lovely folks. I appreciate you popping in on this Sunday evening. Oh, it's supposed to be the All-Star game is on. Is that on right now? Oh yeah. Oh, it's off. They scored 211 points. What the hell kind of game was this? This is weird. I would love for Robin to make a return and take Gary out. Child, prepare yourself. I don't know if we're going to see Robin again, but Gary is going to have, from what I know, he's going to have a very interesting rest of the season. Yeah, Robin needs to come back. But where did that come from? I think someone said women need to earn, and we sent 2 generations trying to convince everyone we do. Ooh, that part. Where did that come from? Somebody said women need to earn, men earn this, earn that, and we said, all right, bet. And now look at us. Child, that's a word, Allie B. That's a word. And I guess at this point, I'm just like, when is my sisters going to stand up? Because I didn't realize, you know what? I'm done. I'm entitled to a lot. I've already earned a ton. So run me what I'm owed. And moving forward, Negro, I'm not earning I am operating in excellence. I am that girl. If you need anything other than what you see, and you also cannot come to the table with the requirements that there are to ride this ride, then step aside, Negro. Gary also had time for a new family, got somebody pregnant. Gary's ass is a rare breed. The moment I actually see that play out in a reality show, like a man like Gary, is the moment I stop watching all reality shows, and I just pray nonstop for everybody, because Lord. Even though there's something happening on TikTok, it's a series called The Man I Married, and it's this lady named Risa T or Rasa Tessa, who did a 52-part TikTok series talking about a man that she married, and everybody is obsessed with it, and it's like this wild ass story. I haven't watched it, but everybody is talking about it, and I'm like, he could probably be Gary. When did he have the time? Who knows when he had the time, child? Because I don't. But I'm about to get on out of here. This was just a quick one. I got a bunch of videos to make. Got all y'all videos this week. Soon come. Be on the lookout. First thing tomorrow, videos will be dropping. Thank y'all so much for subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me live tonight and talking about struggle love a little bit. I will be continuing to make a little bit of correlations between Love is Blind and Sisters Universe, specifically Clay and Zach. So be on the lookout for that. I want to try to get my thoughts in order, and it won't be as rantish. And it'll be more just articulated better. But thank you again for processing it with me. If you're not in the Discord, feel free to jump into it, because we're having conversations similar there. Like I told y'all, there's a conversation playing out right now about women in Zach's life not holding him accountable, and why that's such a big issue, and specifically why women in the Sisters fandom can't seem to see that that's a big issue. And it's really good. So jump into the Discord. The East Coast did win. Thank y'all. I'll see you in my next video and or live.